Hi, my name's Brandy, and I chose to do I Miss You, A First Look at Death by Pat Thomas. Pat Thomas is a psych therapist, and she does counseling and education in London. And this book is suggested for 4 through 8 year olds, and the grade level is preschool. This book is supposed to teach 4 through 8 year olds to express your feelings if loved one dies. The book encourages children to open up about how they are feeling when a loved one dies. The book also covers the different types of death, like natural death, like of old age, or a tragic or sudden death. They explain how the body just simply shuts down when a person dies. The book also covers the ceremony part when somebody dies. A funeral brings everyone together to remember the person they once knew. And that the book also covers to not feel guilty when the person dies, especially if you had said something mean or had done something to that person before they had died. It's not your fault, even if you said something mean. Yeah, you would feel guilty about it, but it's not your fault because they died. This book also encourages you to think about the good times that you had with the person instead of all the bad times you had with that person. Which I totally agree. Focusing on the bad parts is just not the best solution. And the book has questions on the bottom for the kids to look at and to make them think about if it's normal to feel sad, angry when their loved one dies. And all these emotions are normal to feel, especially when you were so close to that person. And the book includes how everyone is different and has different beliefs about what happens when a person dies. And I really like that because not everyone thinks, oh, my grandma is going to heaven. Not everybody thinks that. So I really like how they incorporate that everybody is different and that is okay too. I personally suggest you to read this book with your child instead of handing the book over because this book just helps explain the feelings that go along with grieving and that it's totally okay to feel how you feel. And I think it's totally good to read this book with your child because it helps both of you during the hard time. And you both can talk about your feelings together. And the reviews I had picked from Amazon were one of them was Lisa. She put 5 stars. She had said, dealing with loss is not easy for an adult, much less a child. The colorful illustrations and real life application truly helps. We discovered this title along with 2 more that really assisted my 2-year-old over 13 years ago to understand during the time we lost her father. I could not recommend this more, and I really agree with what she had to say. This book really has really good reviews on Amazon. Another one was another 5 star by Philly, and they had put 5 stars, and it had said, I ordered this book for a 5-year-old family member whose mother was killed in a car accident. I found it to start off kind of harsh for a child. Every day someone is born and every day someone dies. However, the book did a good job explaining death and what happens even during the funeral process. I really like the explanation that sometimes people die when something bad happens. And there is also questions to ask as well as helpful tools in the back. And I really agree with that. At first when I was reading it, I was like, Wow, that is harsh that, it starts off with everyone dies. Every day someone is born and every day someone dies. I thought that was harsh, but reading the book has helped me understood the beginning more and more better. And then another quote that was a 1 out of 5 says, "This book just puts it right out there and black and white. I know that with little kids, you need to be very direct with them about death. However, this book was a bit much. Everybody has their own opinions, but I honestly think this was a really good book to cover with your child or to whoever you want to really read it with." The pages that I wanted to read to you guys was page 11. Um, it says, "People die for different reasons. Some people die because they are old. Some people get very sick and then they die. Some people die because something unexpected and tragic happened to them. What about you? Has anyone you know died? How did they die?" I really like the picture in this, and I really like how there's a box at the bottom for the parent and the child to kind of just go along and think about, like, has anybody ever died in your life, and how did you feel about it, and just kind of think about those moments. And another page I picked was page 22, and it's about, "There's a lot we don't know about death. Every culture has different beliefs about what happens after a person dies, but most cultures also share some beliefs, like the idea that when a person dies, their soul, the part of them that made them special, takes a journey to join the souls of other people who have passed away." I really like that. That includes that everybody's just different, but at the end of it, like right here, it just talks about, like, we may be different, but at the end we are all the same and we come together as one. I really like that. Yes, I would recommend this book because everyone dies at some point, and I think this is a great book to talk about death and how to talk about your feelings during that moment. I could see myself sharing this book with my future child to help talk about what happens when our loved ones die.